Hey, this is Why with Artist Marketer. This is the One Funnel Away Challenge takeaway, week 2, day 2, the Epiphany Bridge. Okay, so the Epiphany Bridge. Okay, this one is really cool, but just like publishing with the last one, there's a process to it. So the key takeaway here is really, I think, epitomized in The War of Art. Okay, The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. Break through the blocks and win your inner creative battles. If you don't have this book, go get it right now because it's one you'll read over and over again. It's really good. But anyway, there's one part in here about going pro. Okay. And that moment when you decide to go pro and to take what you've, up until that point, it's been a hobby, and you finally decide, this is it. I'm going all in. I'm going pro. I'm going all in. And that moment, that epiphany, and the epiphanies that kind of drive you forward are something that you share. And when you share that, in the One Funnel Away Challenge, they call it the Epiphany Bridge. And it's the epiphany that you had when you decide to go pro. And when you share that, you give your audience the same experience. And by giving your audience that same experience, you bypass everything else, and it's a lot easier for them to know, like, and trust you. They experience on a certain level, they're going to have the same experience as you if you've done it well. They're going to have that same epiphany that you had. And it's going to allow them to remove some blocks and go forward themselves. So that's really cool. And the tips here are to be yourself and allow that to come through by sharing the epiphany. Concentrate on sharing what you learned rather than trying to create a story. The Epiphany Bridge is all about, of course, the epiphany. So if you give them that epiphany, boom, they're gonna feel that. They're gonna feel that, and it doesn't seem like it will. I mean, honestly, it feels kind of artificial at first, and then you go through a process. And I can't say I'm there necessarily, but I can say that I've seen it in action. I've been on certain webinars that are really inspiring, like they're really good. And what they do is they share their story, they share their epiphany, and it really gets you. I'll have a link in the show notes to an epiphany from Sean Stevenson, and it's really powerful. It's really good. And I think he, of all the people that I've listened to, he's really the one that's really grabbed me and inspired me. Beyond, of course, other people. But anyway, that is a really good example is from that. And I think the storytelling process, I certainly don't have it down, but the storytelling process is one that allows you to engage with an audience without, doing how-to information like this. You're sharing a story instead of going through an artificial process of relaying information. And like I said, I'm not there yet. Otherwise, I would go, okay, a really good example is, and then I would be jumping into my own story, but I'm not there yet, So I've started to share little stories, and I think the little stories are going to help me towards sharing bigger stories. Storytelling is a process. So the Epiphany Bridge is really cool because you can use it in a lot of different ways, and it's fun. And it's if you look at Joseph Campbell and The Power of Myth, and you look at The Hero's Journey, and you look at how people respond to story and movies and all that, there is so much there, and it's not like you can just push it on yourself and say, okay, someone says, okay, well, tell stories in your business and you'll do really well. That doesn't work. You have to be patient with yourself and give yourself a process for which to just kind of like play with the ideas. Play is part of creativity. And a lot of times we throw it to the side and say, that's what I did when I was a kid. But the thing of it is, when you play with ideas, when you play with stories, when you start playing with your audience a bit, then it becomes your comfort level goes up and your audience becomes more engaged. Like I said, I'm not there yet, but I can tell you from what I've seen and my own start of that process that it's really cool and it works. Okay, so be sure to subscribe and get alerts because in the next one, it's all about the origin story, and it's a lot like the Epiphany Bridge, but the thing of it is, in the next episode, I'm going to give you some core questions to ask that help you kind of draw out your story. And you can ask them to yourself or have someone else ask you these questions. But I think you'll really like it. So see you in the next episode, and thanks a lot for watching.